All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube preppers. This is Prepping Outside the Box. I'm Josh, and we are going to get into yet another topic, setting up your teams. Of course, I brought notes because I always do. I don't like to lose track of my train of thought, which could be easy when you're just talking. So, getting into setting up your teams, I'd like to start out with considering your own abilities. And you have to be a little critical of yourself. You need to really look at yourself and see what your individual skills are, maybe properties you own, the gear you have, the supplies you have, and literally put all that down and figure out where you've got to go from there. Whether you want a big team, small team, lone wolf, I mean, it's all on you, but you're setting up your team. So look at your skills and really annotate everything that you can do, that you have to put forward towards a team. Like I was saying, gear, supplies, everything. Now you need to take a list and be critical about it. You've got to put down a list of your missing abilities, your missing qualities, right? So everyone wants to act like, well, not everybody. Enough people want to act like they don't have weaknesses, right? And like their shit doesn't stink, but it's just because they're used to the smell, right? So be critical of yourself. Find out what your inabilities are, what you need for a team. You can't always do everything. So write down your wants and needs. Maybe you want to have someone that can be a chiropractor on your team. As a crazy example, it's just a want. What you need is probably a medic or somebody with medical experience if you are lacking. Someone that can bring something to the team and help teach other people, right? So go over your wants and your needs and really break them down. It's almost like a pro and con in a way for what you're wanting. Go through your needs first and then go to your wants and try to build your team that way. Another thing to consider is maybe you are lacking somebody with or some property or something like that. And part of your team, you want somebody that owns land, that has a place where you guys can bug out, whatever it is. If that was it, is that quality, is that ability something that can be acquired, or is it something that can be trained? So when you're filling out your needs and wants, maybe annotate next to it, is it something that can be acquired or trained, right? Or is it something that has to be known? You know what I mean? You're not going to sit there and start an SHTF situation, someone's learning how to be a surgeon. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, I get it, they're trained to be it, but I'm talking about being trained on the go, being trained in a few months before you go, working up a skill that they can harbor while they're there. So wants and needs and can it be acquired. Try to get all this jotted down. Another thing to consider when you're going in there, and I like to say that civilian shooters are better than military, right? Typically they're better shots. Now, tactical shooters, which is different, I tend to lean towards obviously like military and law enforcement, preferably people that have utilized the skill. So keep in mind the benefits of both. Just because somebody hasn't been in the military, professional shooter, things like that can be very beneficial. And as far as broadening the range, because you're going to want more than one person with the ability for security for that aspect. Make sure you have tactically mindset people that have dealt with guerrilla warfare, dealt with urban and jungle environments, wherever your location is. So there is a difference between the civilian shooters and military, the tactical mindset and military. Just know there's benefits to both. Also, when you're looking into it, we kind of talked about it a second ago. Medical professionals. Whether it be a corpsman or a medic or an RN or somebody that works at a hospital or something like that, it would behoove you to find somebody that has some medical training that can teach you guys and broaden the team as a whole. It's great to have somebody that has the knowledge, but if they're not willing or able to be able to teach it, then they're kind of still a liability in a way, because if they go, then you're screwed again. So find somebody that can teach you the medical aspect, not just know it. I like to add this one in there, and it might be getting a little bit further down the road. Obviously, you've got to kind of consider your scenarios, what's going to be going on. But I think it would be beneficial to have somebody that maybe works at a gun shop, that works at a large supply warehouse, maybe for like camping gear and things like that, or MRE food, things like that. Somebody that works at a pharmacy, somewhere that has access, and I'm not saying steal pharmaceuticals or anything crazy like that. I'm not saying for that. I'm saying, but in a without rule of law situation, a really bad SHTF situation, it's not coming back for a little bit. You can have it, or somebody else could have it. And having someone that has the ability to procure something for a team, for your group, for your kids and extended family, however big you guys are, it could be extremely beneficial. So keep in mind, and I know it's a little gray area right there, but keep in mind having somebody in those different jobs can be beneficial. Look for somebody with hunting. Hunting's a huge one. Foraging. You might think it's going to be easy, but there's a lot of things that are poisonous you can't eat on the way there, and you might not always be good at getting game and things like that. So finding someone that's good at hunting, finding people that are good at foraging is a good skill that they can teach also, and help kind of further the group along and make you guys more whole. All right. Like I was saying a second ago, know your situation, know how bad it is. If the town's going to be on fire, obviously businesses will have their own way to save their own supplies and things like that. I get that, but I'm saying there's different scenarios. You're not going to sit there and activate your team and do all this kind of stuff if it's a fire, unless you're just helping families get out of town and things. But I always like to go, like I've said in my other videos, way down the line in not coming back from this SHF or SHTF situation. So I like to go worst of the worst. And when I say organize your scenario-based problems with your team, it's go over what you guys would do, right? It's another wargaming. I like to bring that up a lot. It's another wargaming scenario where, let's say for the pharmaceutical guy, if you had a teammate like that, or a surgeon, you had a teammate like that, RN, whatever it is, they have access to a lot of things to be extremely beneficial to your team if it was some really crazy scenario that you can't come back from, or you're not going to anytime soon. So go over different scenarios based on what are you going to do? What's the scenario for the guy that works at that supply warehouse that maybe he's at work and stuff's going down and there's hence, or maybe you still have enough communication to start your guys' little activation and get your team rolling to get together. What are you guys going to do? How are you going to do it? War game that scenario. So maybe those supplies and things that can go and benefit your team can be procured and not wait too long. Also, not go at all too early. We're not trying to be thieves. We're not trying to be bad members of society. I'm talking about worst case scenarios. Like I was saying, don't go too far into it. I do have some more videos. I'm not going to touch on it right now. I'm going to try to keep this one a little short and sweet. I want you to think about the different things we talked about, the different talents that people have, skills, what you have. Go over and be critical of your own abilities and inabilities, and what you have and don't have. Really find out what can help you out as a whole. And if you're not critical of yourself, you're not going to get a fully rounded team. But I will have further videos coming out. I'm going to try to go into detail of movement for your teams, individual, things like that, operational security, radio etiquette, things like that, and comms in general. There's some big subjects in these, and I won't go in crazy detail. We're not going to go over a comms class. We're going to talk about it in an SHTF situation, and different things that you can do. But yeah, we have a lot of videos coming up, and I don't want to forget saying this one. Don't forget to train now. Train often, so when it does come up, it's not new, right? I said that last time, and to me, it's been sticking in my head. I think it's something that's important, and we need to remember: train now, train often, so it doesn't come at you. It's the whole war gaming and practicing, like we all talk about in the prepping community. Don't just go out there new. So again, this is Prepping Outside the Box. I'm Josh, and I will see you tomorrow.